Hello, today I'll be teaching you how to do a fancy text highlight effect in Premiere Pro. My version of Premiere is a little bit older, but the main idea is the same and you should still have all the effects. So first you need to find the image you want. Here I have it right here. You can drag it into your timeline and we can zoom in a little bit. So this effect works best with images with a lot of text, so you can see here that there's quite a bit of text, and what I want to do is I just want to highlight this area. So the first thing I want to do, I want to go to effects controls, I want to go to opacity, take that off, take the keyframe off, I want to change it to 50%. This is what we're going to see at the beginning, and then there's going to be another one on top of that, and we're going to apply a crop effect to this, and this crop will basically make it smaller. So while editing, I realized I didn't really explain the crop tool that well. So basically, you have these different like left, top, right, and bottom. This just means how much percentage it is in from each respective side. So from the left, you can see that it's going as when it's at 0. It's showing all of it from the left. Obviously, this side is black, so it's not a good representation of it. But if I bring this in a bunch, then it goes in further. Same thing with the top, so let's say you bring it up, then you see the whole thing showing and the bottom. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but I just thought I should explain that a little bit further. So now you're going to want to find the wipe effect, so you can go into the effects panel, search wipe, and find linear wipe. Then you're going to drag that onto the top layer. So now here is kind of the tricky part. The thing with the wipe is that on default it goes backwards kind of. As I drag it along, you can kind of see that it goes this way. Obviously this is bad, you want it to kind of zoom in, reading left to right. So what you can do is you change the wipe angle to -90. Now that you have that, you can set up keyframes with a transition completion. So you set up the first one, you want this to be right before it appears, so this is going to be less than 0 because we've added a crop effect to it. So that is going to be around 94. You can make another keyframe over here, and that's going to be just a little bit above. The reason I'm not just doing it all the way over, that would also work, but because I want to add some bezier interpolation to make it look nicer, so I'm just going to make it exactly, because it'll just keep going and it'll look kind of strange. And that's about it. So now, like I just said, we're going to add some bezier interpolation, so we can right click on the keyframe here, press ease in on this one as well, and now we can zoom on here, and we can drag this out to make it a bit smoother. So now when it goes, instead of just being, oh, that's a little fast. Let me just drag this out a bit. So now it finishes kind of more smoothly than it would before. Now that we have that in place, it's looking pretty nice. I'm just going to adjust the keyframes a bit more. This looks okay, but it would look a lot nicer if it had a corner pin on it to give it a little bit of depth. So instead of applying both corner pins to both of these, that would be kind of painful, we're going to nest this sequence over with right click, select both of them and press nest. So now we have this nested. We can go back into the effects panel, search corner pin. So that's going to be in video effects distort, or you can just search it up. You apply that to the nested sequence, and now you have this here. So you only really need to adjust one of these variables, just to kind of, you can get it how you like. So I like to just kind of do it like that. Oh, maybe, there we go. Okay, and then we can move this a little bit as well. There we go, so that looks pretty nice. And now just the last thing I want to do, just to clean up the clip a little better, is to make it move a little bit. So I'm just going to add 2 keyframes. This is pretty simple stuff. Maybe I want it a bit further this way. Okay, maybe around here. So here's this clip finish. It's pretty simple. But it's nice and it's effective and it looks pretty good. So have fun using it. Hopefully, Brian, you can do it now without asking me every time. And yeah, have a good day. So now you can just save your project and